I should probably swing to the pipes using my L1 targeting mode. Is this enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare. Hello and welcome to episode 49 of Is This Enough? The really brilliant game show that is both brilliant and excellent. This week's episode is themed all around Peter Spider-Man, the teenage boy who was written by a radioactive pervert and can now crawl in through your window. Spider-Man was invented by Stan Lee on the back of the success of Fantastic Four. He thought that they should have more comics aimed at teenagers, which means that something positive actually came off the back of Fantastic Four. Who knew? We've made up 3 rounds for each other, and neither of us knows what the other has prepared. Along the way, we'll have some prizes and some forfeits. And with me, as ever, is comedian, actor, painter, and spider pervert, James O'Donoghue.
The cup is empty.
Did you just down? Was that another non-alcoholic beer you just downed?
No, it was a cup of tea.
You just downed some tea.
It was very cold.
Okay.
That's not a criticism to the tea. That's a criticism to me.
On your timing. That's fine.
Hey,
James and I are ironically communicating via the web. James, last time you won and you received a right good misting.
I am very moisturised.
Whereas I lost and received a right good fisting, which Robert Walpole assured me meant a punch in the face.
Oh, that's good. How's your face?
Fine, but other barriers are not. We hope you'll play along with us as you listen. Please let us know your scores. You can follow us at Is This Enough Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can follow us our mailing list on Substack, Is This Enough Podcast .substack.com.
You must. You simply must.
You simply must. James, are you excited to know what the prizes and forfeits are for this week?
Oh, bloody hell, my spidey sense is tingling, and by that I mean my perineum.
Oh. James, if you win, you receive a Spider-Man tumor.
Oh, hell yeah! Yes! Original merch from 2004?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever year it was, it came with an Easter egg in it. I've just realised you can't really see this because there's actually water in it. I'll have to sip so you can see. Look where it's from.
Oh!
Apparently, Marvel had a hot deal with Marks and Spencer. Marks.
That's why all of Peter Parker's jumpers look ever so sensible and comfortable.
They look well comfy, yeah. James, if you lose, you receive a Spider-Man 3 emo haircut.
Oh, God.
So there really is all to play for. Do you think this will be enough?
I have a sense in my spidey sense, my perineum, that this might be enough, but we're going to have to find out the hard way.
The only way to find out is to play, and the only way to play is to follow these simple rules.
Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife. Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife.
David, before we start, I just want another rule. No jokes about Spider-Man spunking up webs, please. I don't want any of those jokes. I don't want any of those jokes, please, David. Please.
Well, I guess then we'll just have to go straight to the result. That's me fucked.
If I hear a single peep.
Yeah?
From his
your spidey sense perineum. All right. Well, let's see how we get on as we go over to me for round 1.
Round 1.
James, round 1 is called Spunky Spunk. No, it's not ready.
Hey!
It's called Vilendral Knowledge.
Oh.
Spider-Man uses his abilities as a spider to do spider-type things, like befriend Norse gods and try and shag a ginger lady. He also tries to stop crime. This crime is being committed by a staggering number of villains, according to the internet, 123. But are these real Spider-Man villains?
Yes, let's do this. Let's do this.
For 123 points a question. James, your knowledge on Spider-Man might outweigh mine.
Let me tell you, in terms of my knowledge, I'm already at full health.
I'm already at full health. James, question number 1. Is Donald Rumsfeld a Spider-Man villain?
Rummy? Yes. 9/11 happens in the Spider-Man comics, as does the war in Iraq. So, Rummy is definitely a Spider-Man villain.
I don't like that you were like, this guy committed war atrocities. Let's call him Rummy.
Yeah.
Right,
it's fun to have nice fun, like all war criminals.
To have nice fun?
It's fun to have nice fun. All war criminals have fun nicknames like Rummy, Dick Cheney, obviously, is the Big D.
Jean-Claude Saddam Hussein.
Jean-Claude Saddam Hussein. Alistair Campbell is number 1 podcaster. It's fun to have nice fun. Allegedly.
Fun to have nice fun. Allegedly. Speaking of which, question number 2. Oh, you correct that, by the way. Question number 2. Mr. Negative. Is Mr. Negative a Spider-Man villain?
Mr. Negative is indeed a Spider-Man villain. He has the power to go into the negative zone and use the power from that. And he's a real pessimist. Spider-Man's like, I'm going to stop you. He's like, no, you won't.
Yeah.
No, he's never like, no, you won't. He's always, no, you won't.
Never drunk out the top half of his drink because he's a glass half empty kind of guy. Correct, James. You certainly know your judo well. Question number 3 is Bossman.
No, Bossman is a trusty hero.
Okay.
Spider-Man is often seen outside Bossman's store going, "Could you get a serve for me, please?"
Yeah. Correct. Bossman is not a Spider-Man villain. Question number 4 is Big Man a Spider-Man villain?
Big Man. Big Man is like, no, Big Man is not a Spider-Man villain.
Incorrect. Big Man is a Spider-Man
villain.
We knew your knowledge was going to be fallible somewhere. Question number 5. Freak.
Freak is a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
He's just a freaky little guy. He gets up to you, just vaguely unpleasant. Does a lot of grinding.
I like the fact that Rummy is Rumsfeld's nickname, but he could also be Mr. Negative, Big Man, and Freak, to be fair.
That's true.
Correct, Freak is. And number 6, Kangaroo.
Yes. He's an Australian villain who does a lot of jumping.
Yeah, he is. Weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Far too many villains. And that's good. And absolutely 0 jokes about Spunk. Well done, me. It's over to you. At the end of that round, you're on 615 points. It's over to you for round 2, James.
Round 2.
Absolutely marvelous. Round 2 is called Can't This Guy Catch a Break? Spider-Man speaks to a lot of people because of not only his amazing powers and great responsibility, but also his relationship with trauma and all things shitty. Anything that can go wrong has gone wrong with this character, to the extent that some of the things that have gone wrong are so wrong that it just seems wrong. I'm going to read out some brief summaries of plot lines. Can you tell me if this is a plot line of things going wrong for Spider-Man or something I've made up? That no doubt the writers over at Marvel will turn into a plotline at some point, because of course they fucking will.
Of course.
There's 10 of these. They're all worth 616 points, 616, which is the number of the official universe where all of the mainline Marvel stuff takes place. David, keep this tight. Number 1, Spider-Man's powers don't work no more. Did that go wrong for him?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Absolutely. That's the plotline. Spider-Man no more. Number 2, Spider-Man turns into a Spider-Man.
Yes, all of this knowledge I'm basing, as we'll get into this later, is based off the Spider-Man cartoon, in which case, yes.
Spider-Man cartoon. which is good and ambitious. It was made kind of on the cheap, and they recycled a lot of shit.
Yeah, but they did do a lot of stuff from the comics.
They did do a lot of stuff, and they made everyone really beefy. Spider-Man's a big guy. He's like Spider-Man is
I'm a
at the
dweeb.
gym. Well, it's like even as he's Peter Parker, it's like this guy is built. Anyway, Spider-Man's father from an alternative universe is a twisted version of Spider-Man who teams up with one of his deadliest enemies to break his spirit.
Oh. Okay. Because he's not really a parents guy. He's more of like an uncle aunt kind of guy.
Yeah,
is Johnny Spooder Boots. So
old spiffy Spider-Man.
Old spiffy Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm sure that's in...
Yeah.
Basically, we can just basically say any sentence and it's in the multiverse somewhere, isn't it?
Somewhere.
Yeah. Paperclip Spider-Man. He can help you write an email.
It appears you're trying to get to full health.
And he's going to send that email via the web. I used the joke twice. Fuck yeah. No, I think that his dad didn't come back and do that.
That is absolutely correct, David. That didn't happen to Spider-Man. That happened to Batman. Number 4.
Yeah, because he's a parents guy.
Spider-Man sells his marriage to the devil.
Sells his marriage?
Sells his marriage.
This is like when Bart sold his soul to Milhouse.
Yes.
Okay.
The devil actually looks exactly like Milhouse.
Yes. Finally, everything's coming up, Satan. The
devil, of course, in the Marvel comics is Mephistopheles.
Mr. Mistopheles, the cat from Cats.
Yes.
Okay.
He's going about going.
I can believe it.
Oh, I'm a cat.
Oh wow, you've even seen Cats, and your knowledge of cats there was fucking woeful.
Yeah. There's a big sign.
Cats are the Jellicle cats. What inspiring.
When they're listing the cats in the start of that musical, they list one of the cats as rabbinical cats, and I was like, "What cat is a rabbi?"
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
it's a little Jewish cat.
No, but they're like they're listing. They don't list the cast of the cats. They're just saying what kind of cats there are. They're like, there's Jellicle cats and angelical cats and cynical cats and rabbinical cats.
If put on the spot, the bit where they list all the cats, I would say is in the top 10 scariest things I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. That, and then Taylor Swift is the sexy cat. I don't want that. Spider-Man sells his marriage to the devil.
Yes.
Yes, that is indeed the plotline. One More Day, which was bad. Spider-Man gets sciatica.
Oh, no.
No, absolutely well done. Spider-Man did not get sciatica. Spider-Man instead got a load of webby sperm up his belly.
No, you said no, just...
What about Spider-Man's clothes have bad vibes?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that is, of course, the Venom storyline.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is shot and fucking dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, of course, happened in the Ultimate Universe. Spider-Man bakes a spider flan, which is spider flat.
Oh. Baking with Spider-Man. Cooking with Spider-Man. The great British spider-off.
Yes.
No.
No? Oh, well done, David. Of course, Spider-Man doesn't eat. And Spider-Man kills Mary Jane with his radioactive jizz.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, that is indeed from a comic that's too edgy. Not edgy enough for him, though. Edging. And finally...
I feel like you made a jizz joke and now you've just got embarrassed.
Spider-Man can't get it up. Spider-Man can't get it up.
Can't get it up. Spider-Man can't get it up. Is that not also the Venom plot?
No, that's he can't not get it up. He's like, whoa!
Oh, has he got Permo Viagra?
Yeah, feels
Permo
like
Stiffy. Yes.
Yes, David, fantastic. By it, of course, I refer to a 10-ton weight that was crushing him. He did, however, maintain a full erection. Well done, David. At the end of that round, you've got, now get this, you went 10 for 10 there. You've got 6,160 points. David, I'm very proud of you.
Sweet.
You clearly have a lot of power, but do you have responsibility?
Round 3.
No, I do not. James, round 3 is called, what do you think of Spider-Man, James?
Pretty good. It's pretty good. I feel like he is a character that is all about.
You about to say jizzing?
He's all about just trying your hardest, and it's nice.
Yeah,
it's
got
nice.
Real Ted Lasso vibes.
It's got real Ted Lasso vibes, but I've not seen a clip of it and want to chew my eyes out. I think that Spider-Man he's like a kind of, the world's out to get him for no reason. Like, if you watch the old Tobey Maguire films, it's like, did this guy kill someone? He gets the same
karma.
Well, he gets the same treatment that like a paedophile on a prison ward would get.
Sure.
People are just out to fucking kill this guy for no reason. And then he gets a little bit of the tables turning in his favor, and he's like, I feel kind of good about myself. And then his uncle fucking gets shot and dies. And then any time that something helps him out a little bit, turns out it's going to corrupt him or make him evil or kill him or whatever. In the Ultimate Marvel run from the early 2000s, it's kind of alluded to that the spider bite that gave him his powers is basically going to kill him at some point. That it's kind of like, yeah, of course, if you ingest that amount of radioactivity, you're going to die.
Oh, dear.
Is that
canon?
It's canon, but for a universe that kind of got folded in and then no longer exists, but kind of does again.
Hooray, capitalism! I do get a little bit wound up where sometimes they're like, we've made this comic book for teenagers and kids that's just once a week, and now 70 years later they're like, well, why don't we just take the original lighthearted intro and make it really fucking severe? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And Spider-Man goes through. I would thoroughly recommend. There's a comic called, what is it called? It's really good. Spider-Man Life Story. That's it. It's like it's a single graphic novel, and it's Spider-Man starts in the 60s and then he ages in real time, and it skips a decade every issue. And it's great. And it's like he starts in the 60s and he's conflicted about the Vietnam War. It's the early days of him having his powers. And then, like, as he ages into the 70s, there's like a civil war with the superheroes. And then by the 2000s, he's an old dude.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a really good kind of encapsulation of everything that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, and then also him getting older. There's lots of runs on it that are great. That original 60s run is really good. It's also Steve Ditko who was the real kind of driving force behind it. Stan Lee it was very self-aggrandizing and very like, I invented this. And it's like, actually,
what?
This was
Stan Lee oversold what he did as a person?
Steve Ditko is a weird dude. He is like a very kind of libertarian. He was really into Ayn Rand. He was really into like Randian philosophy. And yet he makes Spider-Man, who is about altruistic acts of selflessness.
Sure.
It's a really odd thing, and I like it. And then I think it's also because he lends himself to cartoons He lends himself to movies and video games as a character.
Mm-hmm.
There's your version of Spider-Man you have in your head is totally different every time you might think of him. So at the moment, I've been playing the recent PlayStation games, and they're great and they're good fun. But the thing that really got me into Spider-Man was a couple of things. It was the PS1 games, and then also like Marvel would reprint black and white copies of their comics because they were cheap to sell and they sold a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had kind of bought a load of them over the years. And my dad was a comics collector, but he was like, these aren't going to make any money. So just have these. This is a coloring book. And it was great. And that kind of
nice.
came into comics as a thing.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's he's one of those characters, kind of like Sherlock Holmes or kind of like Batman or Dracula, where it's like it's just everyone has an idea of him in their heads. It's different for everyone, and if you're reading a comic and you go, "Oh, I don't like where this is going," you can kind of just disregard it and go like, "This didn't really happen." It's good. It's really good because it's dumb. Comics are dumb. I love
That's
them.
a really great outlook on what I see as the reason why I struggle to get into comics, which is where does this all fit in? How useful is this? Is this actually any good? How does this compare to other stuff? Do I have all the information? You're just like, well, I liked this one, and this one I didn't like as much, so it just doesn't matter.
The odd thing
That's
about comics
much better way of thinking about it.
Comics are like if there was a group of characters, and the same characters and the same actors at the same time were appearing in a soap opera, and then were also appearing in like a movie with an auteur director, because you can be the mainline run of stuff is a soap opera because it's been going for ages. And they're throwing what if Venom got wings, and what if Spider-Man had big hands, and what if Mary Jane fell in love with someone else, and then what if that other person turns out he's the Green Goblin? What if Green Goblin was red? And they have to do all of this stuff, and it's like a real kind of like hack work a day. God love them. It's a tough job. And at the same time, you've also got comic writers who are going, I can do exactly what the fuck I want. This is going to be a whole standalone thing. You don't need to know any other bits of the canon. Here's just a little story with this character doing something, and it could be as big or as small as you like. And it's great. It's really good when that, it's really good when people treat characters with a sense of fun and a sense of, well, fuck you, I want to try this. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, James, as your opinions on Spider-Man are so very, very good, I shall give you 1,000 points.
Ooh, my.
Putting on your 1,615 points altogether. It's over to you for round 4.
Round 4.
Round 4 is, of course, called Press X to Jump. David, what do you bloody think about Spider-Man? Have you got any...
Jizz is too much. No.
No! Jizz is too much.
Too much. I like Spider-Man, and I think I really liked Spider-Man when I was younger, and then I kind of was like, I think I'm a Spider-Man guy. And then the modern age of Spider-Man has just been like, well, you like Spider-Man? Here's too much Spider-Man that you don't enjoy. And I'm like, oh. And so I sort of go through waves of being like, I like Spider-Man, and I'm like, oh, fucking Spider-Man. But I have literally had this mug since Spider-Man 2 came out, which I got. I'm pretty sure I got it for Easter, and it had an Easter egg in it at some point. I very much got into Spider-Man. I say very much. I wasn't like T-shirts and bed linen with Spider-Man on, but like
David has never owned any linen or cotton products in his life.
At least not one spun by a spider, I guess.
No silks, please.
So just covered in jizz. No. So
The cocoon.
The 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which, as we've said, is a hot mess in retrospect, but also sort of has some amazing, like, multi-episode storylines that have been properly lifted out from the comics, and just like exquisite voice acting. The animation is fine, and literally it'll go from episode to episode where he's like, "I love Gwen Stacy. I love Mary Jane. I love Gwen." It's just each episode just doesn't give a shit. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Hank Azaria is in it as Venom. So
is that Venom... Does he do Venom in the game then, in the PS1 game?
No, that's someone else. But yeah, in the cartoon,
all the same voice actors from the cartoon in the game.
It's not the same. It's the same for Doc Ock. They decided he was German.
Oh, is it not this? Okay, I really thought it was. Maybe they're just good at stuff. But yeah, because it's very similar image-wise.
It's very similar. I think they wanted a direct thing, but I don't know.
Anything. Okay, I thought it was the same cast. Anyway, the 90s cartoon I would watch as and when it was on got very much like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then when I was in Cyprus when I was younger, my cousin lived in Cyprus, and whilst we were there, he went
doing war crimes.
No, he wasn't. He was like 12 or something. But
allegedly,
he was allegedly 12. So he bought the copy of PlayStation 1 from a dodgy market with dodgy. Anyway,
allegedly.
But we sat and played through that whole game in like one evening, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then I finally bought it myself, and just at one point, I only had 3. I got given a PlayStation, and then my parents thoroughly regretted buying me a PlayStation, so I only had 2 games, and I didn't like one of them. So then the third game I bought was Spider-Man for the PS1. So I owned 3 games. I didn't like one of them, so I had 2 games. So it was either Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or Spider-Man 1 for the PlayStation 1, and played that to death. And as anybody has noticed through this, James and I will just quote it as and when we want throughout our lives. I then gave my copy to someone to borrow, never got it back. So then I borrowed James's copy recently, played it through all of it in I think 2 evenings, and had the best time ever. And I just think about, oh my goodness, and all that sort of stuff. And I really enjoyed when the Tobey Maguire films came out. There was a few films that sort of timed themselves very nicely for my life. Namely, like the Lord of the Rings films came out around the same time that it was like term time was breaking up, and we would get like a half day at school for the last day of term. So everyone would already be together. So then we're like, let's fucking go to the cinema and see the new Lord of the Rings. And so like you would leave school, find your group of like 6 friends and be like, hey, let's go to the cinema. And then you would get to the cinema, and the entire cinema was just everyone from school. I thought it was hilarious. And I definitely remembered having an end of term summer thing where we left and then we went and saw Spider-Man 2. I can't remember if we also did that for Spider-Man 1. But yeah, I very much remember seeing Spider-Man 2, leaving that, going to a house party, and my friend, I was like, that film was awesome. And my friend was like, that was fucking cheesy as fuck. Like when they're running along slow-mo. And I'm like, oh, whatever. And I really like them. I never actually saw the third one, and then everyone slagged it off. I was quite excited for the third one, but it was kind of in peak. I had a job by then, and didn't go to the cinema for about a year and a half, and because everyone was going on a Saturday when I had a job. So then I finally saw it, and I was like, oh well. And then I never saw any of the Andrew Garfield ones, and then I famously on this podcast fell out of love with the MCU, so I never actually got to the bit with Spider-Man in that. But I just the MCU repetitive and fucking irritating. So I sort of fell out of love with Spider-Man for a while, and then I wasn't going to watch the Spider-Verse films. And then my girlfriend was like, I think you might actually like this. So we kind of just stuck it on a whim. And I think I've only seen the first one, but I think that is the best Spider-Man film.
It's excellent. It's
it just looks great. And it's not trying to be like, okay, we'll just do a version that you all kind of understand. And it's very basic, and it's kind of, it's very not surface level. It's like the animation is telling as much story as possible. It's hilarious and dark. And it's got all the emotions. And that really made me like Spider-Man again. I've not actually seen the second one yet, although I know that it's now had troubles with the cast.
What cast have been troublesome?
Wasn't the guy who's done the voice of Miles Morales been a bit of a silly billy?
Has he? My goodness.
You're usually hot on this.
I don't know.
This is internet gossip about someone being a very silly billy about Spider-Man. I thought this was like you're in.
Yeah, no, that should have been all over that. I let you down. To quote Alfred from the Spider-Man films,
yeah,
Master Spider-Man, I've let you down. To quote Alfred Molina from the Spider-Man films, when are we going? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm going to put for a coffee. Does anyone want coffee? Okay, I'm in Fiddler of the Roof at the same time.
But yeah, so like, I really have a soft spot in my heart for Spider-Man, even though the film industry really made me I felt like the film industry was just like pushing me away. Yes. Every film they made being like, fuck off. If you don't like this, just fuck off, because we're not going to make anything else other than this. So I felt for a long time like I didn't like any superhero stuff. So I kind of was like, I just don't really care. And now I'm like, I do like Spider-Man. I like his kind of, as you say, he's very hopeful and nice, and like he's very much about doing the right thing, and he can have like that emotional core, and it can actually make you feel good. And also, one of his villains is a big fucking rhino who's just like, and then when you play him in the Spider-Man 1 games, you're just trying to get him to headbutt an electrical thing so he can go, which I think is great.
It's good. I think that in terms of Spider-Man, in terms of like superheroes that people glom onto, I think it goes in cycles, and I think that we were probably in a Spider-Man cycle, and it kind of goes from Spider-Man, Batman, Superman as like your main way in, and I feel like
you got 2 out of 3 there. You know my theory about the
your Spider-Man, Batman, Princess Diana theory.
Yeah, which is
how cinema
fucking solid.
How culture works.
It's just
we go in a cycle of
what we had recently. We've had a Spider-Man film, so in a minute we'll have a Batman film and then a Diana film, and then you have a Diana film, and you're like, well, okay, cool. There's a Batman film or a Spider-Man film coming out soon.
Yeah,
and it just happens. It's like Spider-Man, Batman, Princess Diana.
Yeah, and sometimes they're in the same film. So if you look in the background of the latest Batman film, you'll see he goes through a tunnel. Behind him is Dodi Al-Fayed. There's some press as well, and then you hear.
Ironically, Dodi Al-Fayed wishes his parents were dead. So satire, allegedly. Oh dear, I shouldn't have made that joke.
Well, David, I'm going to give you as many points as you're going to be sued for. 100 points. Good luck.
Oh, I feel weird now.
Goodness gracious. Balls.
Round 5.
Well. As we glob into round 5, we should tell you the title of round 5, which is "Along Came a Spider-Man" catchphrase.
Yes,
in one bite, Spider-Man went from being nerdy to hilarious, catching the villains and the vibes. But are these real Spider-Man catchphrases? We all know that Spider-Man does a bunch of catchphrases all the time, and you simply must tell me whether Spider-Man does these catchphrases or not. This is for 10,000 points a question. Lovely stuff. Oh, it's my alarm going off telling me it's lunchtime. That's good. James, question number 1. Is this a real Spider-Man catchphrase?
With great power comes a huge electricity bill.
Yes, that was while he was working for British Gas.
Yes, of course. With great power comes a huge electricity bill is, of course, Spider-Man's catchphrase. He is very conscious about a lot of things. Question number 2. Is this a Spider-Man catchphrase?
I jizz out of my wrists.
Oh, bloody hell. No. Oh, no. Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought you were saying no rather than yes.
I was saying no, as in I can't believe I've heard this. But yes, it is a catchphrase.
You should have stuck with your gut. Of course, it's not.
Oh, crikey!
He jizzes out of his butt like a normal spider. So, question number 3: Is this a real Spider-Man catchphrase?
Oh shit! Is that Mr. Negative?
Yeah, that's what he always says when he sees Mr. Negative.
Mm-hmm. He's always seeing Mr. Negative, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna drag me down."
I call depression Mr. Negative.
Do you?
I wish I could defeat it with a boss battle.
Send him into an electricity thing, and he goes. Question number 4: Is this a real Spider-Man catchphrase?
Spider balls tingling.
Yes, that's when he sees the ladies.
Yes, or when he catches some variety of transmitted illness. And finally, question number 5: Is this a real Spider-Man catchphrase?
My full name is Jeremy Durman, and I am a spy.
Oh, David. I feel that the copy of the game that you got was far too dodgy from that Cypriot market. That is not Spider-Man. That is Durman the Spy from the game Spy versus Spy.
In the Harriet Spy universe.
Yes.
I saw Harriet the Spy in the cinema. Correct, James. That is a further 10,000 points to you there, putting you on a marvelous 41,615 points. It's over to you for round 6.
Round 6.
David, round 6 is where we enter the Spider-Verse. Hold on tight while I get our guest in from across time and space. Hey up, lads, it's me, Spider-Man, from Earth 6180, where New York is just York. The thing about being a wall crawler is it's fucking mint, and that some beggars are right against it. Gets right on their tits. I've got baddies coming out the wazoo, as well as, of course, copious amounts of web and cum. Luckily, my skills as a right good photographer means I've got footage of them that I've converted into audio files for the medium of choice, you fuck. Can you tell me who these right shaky bastards are?
Yeah.
Before we start, have you got any questions about being Spider-Man?
Are you a Spider-Man that has... Do you have to make your own web fluid, or does it come out of you naturally?
Yeah, no, it turns out you make it yourself, but you have to drink Bovril.
Okay. Who is who are you linked with romantically?
Linked romantically with Thor. All right. Okay. You got a problem with that?
No.
Bloody hell, didn't think it was this kind of podcast.
Just didn't know you like blondes that much. I guess Gwen Stacy.
Oh, come on now. Yeah, he's got arms you could lose yourself in.
I bet indeed. And also, it's really nice to have like a family member who has relatives abroad, which means you get to like go on cheap holidays.
Absolutely. And the less said about the hammer, the better. Who the fuck is this?
I'll fucking get you, butt!
Which one of my many baddies was that?
I'll fucking get you, bud. Was that Rhino?
Oh no, I'm afraid that was, of course, the Green Goblin. Green Goblin, or bloody Green Gobbler, You could call him if you see him down Chippy Lane in Cardiff on Friday night after he's had a few jars. He bloody loves chips.
It's a good lane. It's a very good lane.
Right, that was that one. Who we got here?
Will bloody box your ears in.
Bloody box your ears in. Is that...
Will bloody box your ears in.
Was that a wheel?
Oh, no, that's not Big Wheel.
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. No, God. Oh, God.
Oh no, that wheel.
I'll or wheel box your ears.
Will bloody box your ears in.
It's wheel. Wheel. Bloody box your ears in.
Then is it Venom?
It is Venom. Absolutely. In this universe, Venom runs a kebab place that was very low in hygiene rating.
Yeah, I actually never skip arm day.
Oh, the bloody hell is that?
Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, I actually never skip arm day.
That's, of course, Dr. Octopus. He's got 8 arms and a crippling steroid addiction.
Hey, I'll give you the horn.
Oh,
It's Rhino.
It's...
Yeah,
he makes that noise quite a lot. Oh, dear me. And finally, who is this?
I'm craven to hunt ya.
Who could that be?
I sort of... can I just tell you my thinking out loud?
Yeah, go on.
Part of me think it's Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Part of me thinks it could be Mysterion, and he's pretending to be Kraven the Hunter.
Make your guess.
Because one of the things I forgot to mention, one of the things I really like about the PlayStation 1 game is that, yes, like, it is taking a lot of villains from elsewhere, and it's just kind of like a villain of the week sort of thing, but they put them all together. But I just quite like the fact that he's King. Well, is it not Kingpin? They've put them all together, like the baddies, and he's kind of having to figure out which of the baddies are doing what. I quite like that. Anyway, Mysterion.
Oh, I tell you what, David, that is, of course, John Craven from Newsround.
I'm craven to hunt ya.
However, in my universe, John Craven is, of course, the villain Mysterio. So well done. You've won yourself the points. Let me have a look at 5. Oh, bloody hell, you've done well with that round. You won 30,900 points. Turns out that's very good. I tell you what, you're a true friend, and I'll see you in Avengers Tower, which is, of course, near South Shields. Tira, or as we say in Earth 6180, bye-bye, Gara. I'm off to fight vampires with Morrissey and Ronald Reagan, who are both Blade in my universe.
Bye, Spider-Man.
Bloody Spider-Man was here.
It was Spider-Man from York.
From York.
Yeah.
Who swung in through the Spider-Verse.
Get me fucking pictures of Spider-Man.
I think there should be a David Frost Spider-Man in the next Spider-Verse film, because as we go through the Spider-Verse.
Well done, James. You at the end of this magnificent episode of Is This
Could it
Enough?
be?
Episode 49, Spider-Man themed. You have 41,615, whereas I have 37,160, which means you receive this Spider-Man mug, although this might be a David Plus incident.
Oh, 9!
Oh, 9. Whereas I receive a Spider-Man 3 emo haircut, which I think I really do need a haircut. So I'm sort of I'm nearly there.
You are, to be fair, Dane DeHaan was in a Spider-Man film.
He was. I've never seen a single Dane DeHaan film. Or Zendaya.
Do you not,
Or
Dane?
Tom Hardy. What?
DeHaan. He was in Oppenheimer. Did you see Oppenheimer?
No.
Oh, mate, you didn't see Oppenheimer?
No, I didn't. Barbenheim. I didn't know that Barbie. I had a conversation with your girlfriend about. She was like, "Excited to see Barbie?" And I was like, "What? No." And she was like, "But," and I didn't understand all the things that were going on with it. I didn't realize it was Greta Gerwig and everything. I thought they were just making like a shitty Hollywood Barbie movie rather than what it actually was. And
without
I'm
the
mildly
hype,
intrigued. Yeah,
without the hype, it's fine. It's like it's a damn fine film.
yeah. What, the Barbie movie?
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard it's got the same plot as Black Panther, which I also haven't seen.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Get out of my way, nerd! James, congratulations for winning. I'm so very, very proud of you. You can follow at Is This Enough Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Is This Enough Pod, and you can follow our mailing list on Substack as isthisenoughpodcast.substack.com. You can find me at David Hoare LOL on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you can join my Substack mailing list at davidhoare.substack.com. James O'Donoghue, where can we find you?
I've been James O'Donoghue. You can find me as that James O on Insta, James O Comedy on Blue Sky, and the Let the James Begin on TikTok.
And if you have an idea for a round, Spider-Man themed or not, please send it in to isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com, and we may read it out. We also may not.
Also, leave us a review.
Oh yeah,
if
please
you
leave us a five. Please leave us a 5-star review on all the streaming, whatever streaming platform you leave it on, because it really, really, really helps. And thank you to everyone that's already done that. And thank you for everyone for listening so far. We'll get into this a bit more in the next episode.
If you've listened and enjoyed, and you've not left a review, we're going to start naming names and addresses.
No, don't threaten them. They're lovely. Thank you so much. And please share this with a friend if you thought that they might enjoy it. And if you don't, talk about it in a way that makes them go, wait, what are you talking
about? Yeah.
Robert Warple. What? We'll see you next time on Is This Enough?
Where'd Spider-Wuss go? Oh, Spider-Wuss! Tag!